All right, folks, good morning. Let's get started. So, for today, January the 18th, we have the following. So, at 8:30 a.m., we had core retail sales month over month, which came in weaker than expected, and retail sales month over month also came in weaker than expected. So, again, technically, those are good things for the stock market, but we'll see. And at 9:15 a.m. Eastern, we'll have industrial production month over month, which is a moderately important report. And then at 9:15, we'll have the capacity utilization rate, which is not expected to have significant impact. At 10 a.m., we'll have business inventories month over month, which is not expected to have significant impact. And at 10 a.m., we'll also have FOMC member Barkin speaking, which is not expected to have a significant impact. Now, switching over to the market watch calendar here just to double check a few things. So at 10 a.m., we'll also have Richmond Fed President Tom Barkin podcast interview. We'll have Fed Governor Adriana Kugler, at 1 p.m., as well as Dallas Fed President Lori Logan. At 1:20, we'll have St. Louis Fed President Alberto, I don't know how to pronounce that, Muslim speech. At 2 p.m., we'll have the Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee speaking, and then at 2 p.m., we'll have the Congressional Budget Office updated fiscal year forecast. Um, so that's everything for today. So we'll have reports coming out throughout the day, but basically between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., it should be pretty straightforward trading, and then after that, things might get a little awkward. All right, having said that, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. So yesterday was extremely bullish. At first, it wasn't. At first, we had neutral trading, no clear trend at all. I definitely did not in any way expect there would be a breakaway rally, but sure enough, there was one. And I specifically said that. So as also said, you never know. So sometime at the just after noon, the market started to rally very strongly, and then closed higher. So far today, it looks like we're neutral. In the pre-market session, we're trading just a little bit above yesterday's close. Having said that, let's take a look at the stocks which were moving yesterday. Now, of course, most of these stocks we found were in the morning when the market wasn't moving like this. So let's take a look at what we found. So in the earlier stages of the day, Costco was bearish, CSCO. It was able to reach our target number one to the downside of 45.10, and then went about halfway to target number two. But we were looking for mostly the move from target number one to two, so that one didn't really work the way we wanted. Um, Applied Materials AMAT was bullish. It reached target number one to the upside very quickly at 239.65, then fell apart, came back a lot later. We were looking for the move from T1, target number one to target number two. That happened a lot later, but it did reach target number two to the upside of 242.63. DKNG was also very bullish. Unfortunately, we weren't able to catch this move. We were looking for an entry setup along the way up. We never got one. The only one we got was just before it got to target number two. But after it got to target number two, it just kept going. So that was extremely bullish. But again, we missed that opportunity because it never gave us a proper setup. However, Tesla did. We were able to catch Tesla. That made a nice move up to target number two to the upside of 184.97, and then proceeded beyond that. Um, Billy, that was able to reach target number two to the upside of 1577. AMD was bearish. It reached target number one to the downside, 155.51. Then went about halfway to target number two to the downside. Next up, we have Amazon. Oh, sorry. at ASTS on Amazon, which was able to reach target number 2 to the upside of 1137, then a high of 1237 after that. Next up, we have Marvel, MRVL, which was able to reach target number 2 to the downside of 70.95, and then it bottomed out there. Next up, we have NVIDIA, which was able, well, actually, no, NVIDIA, we're looking for it to go up, so that didn't work out. So Marvel was the last good one that we saw. I will mention that Apple was up. I did not recommend this one because of how choppy it was, but it did eventually reach its target number 2 to the upside. All right, so looking at the pre-market, let's see what's moving right now. So as far as, hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second, guys, sorry. All right, so as far as pre-market, we have the following stocks. We have ASNS, which is presently up 120% on 19.5 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market radar. Again, the symbol is ASNS. All right, next up we have GWAV. Yep, GWAV, or it's a GW, yeah, AV, that's the right one, which is currently at 14.6% on 2 million shares, is at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list for stocks. Next up, we have MLGO, which is presently up 38% on 8.4 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add MLGO to our pre-market watch list. Next up, we'll have SILK, Silk. It looks like a buyout. Let's see here. Yeah, this one is going to be bought out by Boston Scientific, so nothing we could do with this, so we'll skip it. SILK. Next up, we have ZNTL, which is presently down 24% on 2.4 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share still. So we can add that to our pre-market watch list as well, ZNTL. All right, if you folks see any other stocks that meet all 4 of our criteria, we're looking for a NASDAQ listed stock that's trading at least $1 per share in value or higher in this pre-market session. Also, the stock must have achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume and at least a 6% price change, positive or negative. All right, so if you see any other stocks that meet those 4 criteria, let me know. Meds is mentioned here. Okay, Meds is currently up 6%, but only 130,000 shares, so that does not qualify, Stephen. So we will not add that to our list. We need to see at least 1 million shares of volume in this pre-market session. This has achieved 131,000 shares. So if you folks see any other stocks that meet all 4 of our criteria, let me know in the chat. Again, it must be a NASDAQ listed stock. It must currently trade in the pre-market at least $1 per share. It also must achieve in the pre-market at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume, and it must have achieved at least a 6% price change. So if you see any other stocks that meet all 4 of those criteria, let me know in the chat. We'll take a look. So far, we found these 4. All right, so we'll wrap up here in about 10 seconds. Please be sure to like the video. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button. There are about 12 likes, it looks like, but more than 12 people are watching, of course. So please be sure to hit the like button. It greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm. So we appreciate that. Also, subscribe to the channel. That way you get notifications whenever we have a video broadcast or any other type of video added. For anyone who's watching this video on a replay, if you're not familiar with our company, please be sure to check out fundertrading.com, our website. You'll see a link in the description to this video. Other than that, for everyone else who's in the coaching program, I'll see you in there in about 23 minutes. Also, on a side note, just to make sure we're all aware of that, for Wednesday the 19th, that'll be a holiday, so we will not have trading tomorrow for June 19th. So the next pre-market pulse will be on Thursday. We'll pick up from there. Okay. All right, folks. Have a fantastic afternoon or trading session, and I'll see you guys for the pre-market pulse on the 20th, and we'll pick up from there. Okay. Take care.